Hi there, I'm Emma at Blue Sky Philanthropy, and I'm here to talk about 3 signs that your fundraising may be suffering from shiny object syndrome. So sign number 1 is that your tactics aren't necessarily informing a larger fundraising strategy. Oftentimes when clients first contact me, their focus is around different fundraising techniques. So they may be asking things like, we need to start a crowdfunding campaign, so what's the best platform for us to use? Or nobody knows about us, so we need to start a social media awareness campaign. How do we do that? Here's the problem there, is that these are all a collection of different tactics, and tactics are an important part of developing a sustainable and successful fundraising program. But the problem here is your tactics need to be serving a larger overarching fundraising strategy that in turn serves the mission and vision of your organization. So here's symptom number 2 that you might be suffering from shiny object syndrome, and that is that you don't have a solid foundation of the tried and true. So a great example of this is a kind of disturbing trend I'm seeing lately of organizations moving away from tried and true foundations, say of mail and direct mail, and going exclusively all in on digital channels. So the key here is that it can't and shouldn't be either or. It needs to be and. So I'm not saying don't try and invest in new techniques and innovation for your organization, but see it as a potential warning sign if your organization has a tendency to move away from those solid, effective foundations like direct mail to invest exclusively and only in a channel like digital. So do invest in that innovation, but don't abandon the tried and true to get there. So finally, a big symptom of shiny object syndrome is that you don't stick with new tactics long enough to actually see results. So if you're an organization that picks up and drops new fundraising approaches like they're hot potatoes, you might be suffering from shiny object syndrome. So the key here is to really have agreed upon KPIs and metrics and commit yourself to trying new tactics for a set period of time so that you can be sure you're actually seeing the results. So don't pick up and drop those tactics like hot potatoes. Really stick with it and try and avoid the 6 most dreaded words to fundraisers. We already tried that and it didn't work. So here's a solution, I think, to all of these problems and symptoms around shiny object syndrome, and that is to ensure that you have a really effective overarching fundraising strategy and plan, and to make sure that your organization has bought into this strategy and plan at every level. So that includes your fundraising team, that includes your direct boss, whether that's an ED or CEO, and it also includes, perhaps most importantly, your board of directors. So you need to have a strategy that really does take into account your organization's mission, vision, what you want to achieve in the world. You need to get buy-in at all levels on that strategy, and that's a great way to make sure that you're avoiding shiny object syndrome. So if you want to talk a little bit more about strategy, I offer a 45-minute strategy session. You can find that and book that on my website on the contact page, and you can book online. So I look forward to chatting with you soon. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you next time.